Greetings and salutations, comrades. Hope this finds you well. Quick shout out to INN, also known as Indie Left News, which I'm super proud to be a founding member of. Definitely follow INN on all the social media accounts. Don't want to miss lots of good things to come. So this is a pretty interesting story, but not, super surprising if you, kind of follow how, big tech, these social media companies and platforms are, always ready and willing to do the bidding of the U.S. empire and, supporting these efforts, these U.S. empire regime change efforts overseas. In this case, this article came out about a week ago from Alan McLeod at Mint Press News. Definitely highly rate Alan McLeod's work and that of Mint Press News in general. Definitely support them and consume their content any way you can. This one in particular was about how Facebook, the team that tried to, swing Nicaragua's elections, is full of, U.S. spies. And, Ben Norton did a really good story, about this in particular, about how, Facebook was trying to label all these, actual real people in Nicaragua, these people that were supporting the Sandinista, government there, the, FSLN party, that's the party of the Sandinistas. Facebook was trying to label them as being bots when, Ben Norton knows several of these people in real life and, had them come on and give these little cameos like, no, I'm a fucking real person, and they're trying to censor me because I support the, left independent government, of Nicaragua, and hence why they're being censored by Facebook and labeled as being bots. And the team, behind this effort at Facebook is full of U.S. spies, as Alan McLeod details here at this just another great article that he, put out at Mint Press News. Here we go. I'm not going to read all of this because it's would take up too much time. We'll definitely encourage you to read all of it. Less than a week before Nicaragua's presidential election, social media giant Facebook deleted the accounts of hundreds of the country's top news outlets, journalists, and activists, all of whom supported the ruling left-wing Sandinista government, top Washington target for regime change, as I alluded to or talked to you about before, right? They were bots engaged in inauthentic behavior, Facebook said. Considering that around half of the country uses the platform for news and entertainment, the decision could barely have been more heavy-handed and intrusive. However, early reports show that if the goal was to swing the result, it failed badly, and the Sandinistas achieved an overwhelming victory. This is appalling interference by Facebook in particular, which is the most popular social media outlet in Nicaragua. They allege that they've stopped a government-deployed troll farm, but what they actually done is to close accounts of ordinary Sandinista activists, particularly young people, often with many followers. Johnny Perry, a journalist living in the city of Masaya, told Mint Press. Yep, as I was talking about, Ben Norton debunked all that bullshit. There you go. Meet the Nicaraguans. Facebook falsely branded bots and censored days before election. Oh, actually real fucking people, and they were censored because they're supporting this government that the U.S. empire has been trying to overthrow since the Sandinista revolution, since the socialist revolution in 79, right? Facebook has a security state beard. The 11-page report detailing the company's supposed evidence of inauthentic behavior has just two contributors, Luis Fernando Alonso and Ben Nemo, individuals with deep and long-lasting ties to Western military intelligence. According to his biography on LinkedIn, Alonso, until last year, worked for Booz Allen Hamilton, shadowy corp situated in the area around Washington, D.C., colloquially known as Raytheon Acres. That's one of the places that Edward Snowden worked at, right? Yep. Nemo's background is equally... let's see. Before that, Alonso worked for the government at the William J. Perry Center for Hemispheric Defense Studies, a Department of Defense control institution that trains top military intelligence leaders. Nemo's background is equally spooky. Between 2011 and 2014, he served as NATO's press officer, moving the next year to the Institute for Statecraft, UK government-funded propaganda operation aimed at spreading misleading info about the enemies of the British state. Institute for Statecraft established a secret network of journalists across Europe who used to push anti-Russian and pro-establishment talking points, all in coordination. Look at that. And then, I mean, it goes even beyond that. In 2019, Nemo played a key role in downplaying the bombshell news that the conservative government is quietly negotiating to sell key parts of the NHS. That's, the UK's national healthcare system. They have universal healthcare. When the Labour Party publicized this information just days before the election, Nemo jumped into action, immediately announcing without evidence that the documents in question closely resemble a known Russian operation. Nemo also became a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council, NATO's semi-official think tank. Jesus Christ, man. Facebook, now officially called Meta, right, is extremely secretive about who actually works at their intelligence department. Nowhere can one find a list of names or key figures. However, going back through months of reports and blog posts for names reveals a veritable revolving door between big tech and big government. In short, Facebook is strewn with spies. And there's a list of them, right? Look at that. Head of Security Policy, spent 2.5 years at the White House at National Security Council's Director of Cybersecurity Policy. Before that, he also spent 5 years at the Department of Justice. Agronov, Head of Security Communication, worked for more than 6 years in senior role at the Department of Defense before 2017, moving on to become the Director of the National Intelligence for the National Security Council at the White House. Belaglava teaches cybersecurity influence operations to students at Georgetown University, an institution notorious America's spy school. Jesus Christ, dude, look at the Tory was a high-level CIA agent specializing in cyber warfare against China. Before that, he worked as a global network intelligence analyst for the NSA. So, I mean, just look at the people Facebook is employing, and as Alan McLeod pointed out there's just that huge revolving door that exists between big tech, and that obviously includes these huge social media platforms and the US security state, the US empire, and these various agencies that occupy it. And we see that how time and time again these big tech corporations, these platforms, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and the like, always will censor accounts, whether it be Palestinian activists speaking up for the rights of the Palestinians, or people in Nicaragua, in this case, real people that support the Sandinista government there, being censored in this case by Facebook. So it's not surprising, but still deeply, deeply disgusting. And obviously, these big tech platforms need to be, nationalized, treated as a public utility, and this type of censorship absolutely needs to stop. And it's another reason why, people on the left should not be advocating for censorship on these platforms, because when censorship is used, it'll always be used against people on the left, people speaking out in support of these socialist and independent countries all over the globe. People are critical of US imperialism, capitalism, and these regime change efforts and wars. That's why leftists need to oppose this type of censorship, right? Like the video if you like the damn video, subscribe for more content, all part of the people. Quick shout out to the 2 Uber comrades supporting my channel, my partner and Indie Left News. Definitely check out Indie Left News. They're a great resource. Peace. Much love.